Discovery 1. In 1911, geologists in Antarctica found what looked like a crime scene. A thick, bright red liquid was slowly oozing from the snow-white Taylor Glacier. It looked as if the glacier was bleeding. For a century, people thought it was red algae. But the truth turned out to be even more surprising. It was rust. Beneath the ice, in complete darkness, a salt lake had existed for millions of years. Ancient bacteria had evolved there in isolation, and when this iron-rich water was exposed to air, it instantly rusted, turning the ice blood red. Discovery 2. In the summer of 1997, hydrophones at the most remote point in the Pacific Ocean recorded a sound. It was ultra-low frequency and incredibly powerful. The sound, dubbed Bloop, was picked up by sensors spaced 5,000 kilometers apart. To produce such a sound, an animal would have to be several times larger than a blue whale. We know of no creatures that size. The official version is that it was the cracking of a gigantic iceberg, but many still believe that something living and enormous has awakened on the seabed. Discovery 3. Lake Vostok lies hidden beneath 4 kilometers of Antarctic ice. It was isolated from the rest of the world for 15 million years. It is the purest and most mysterious time capsule on the planet. Scientists drilled into the ice for years, afraid of introducing our microbes. When they finally took a water sample, they found bacterial DNA unlike anything known to science. It is literally alien life, but living on Earth. And we don't know what else might be floating in this eternal darkness. Discovery number 4. Point Nemo is the most remote place in the ocean, the furthest from any land. If you were there, the closest people to you wouldn't be on islands, but on the International Space Station in orbit. That's why it's used as a spacecraft graveyard. Hundreds of satellites and the Mir station were sunk there. It's an eerie place where at the bottom, in silence and darkness, lie the twisted remains of our civilization mixed with silt. Discovery number 5. In Siberia, there's a sinkhole that locals call the door to hell. The Batagaika Crater is a gigantic thermokarst depression that grows every year. The permafrost is melting, and the Earth is literally opening up, revealing layers 200,000 years old. Terrifying sounds of cracking and groaning can be heard from this fissure. But what's even more terrifying is what's coming out. Ancient gases and bacteria, dormant for millennia, are now rising into the atmosphere, changing our climate. Discovery 6. If you're afraid of spiders, don't dive in Antarctic waters. The phenomenon of polar gigantism is at work there. Due to the icy water and excess oxygen, animals' metabolism slow, causing them to grow very large. Sea spiders, which are the size of a fingernail elsewhere, are the size of dinner plates here. These aren't movie monsters, they're real. The polar ocean floor is covered in giant, slow-moving arthropods. Discovery number 7. Bouvet Island, the most isolated island in the world, a chunk of rock in the ice between Africa and Antarctica. In 1964, an expedition found a lifeboat there. It was lying in a lagoon, the oars still in place, but there was no one inside. No sign of camp, fire, or bodies. The nearest land was thousands of kilometers away. How did the boat get there? And where did the passengers go? It's one of the strangest mysteries in the history of navigation, one that has never been solved. Discovery number 8. At the edge of the Arctic, in the permafrost, scientists are finding more than just mammoths. They're finding viruses. A 48,000-year-old zombie virus was recently revived, and it was still infectious, fortunately for amoebas. But that same ice also harbors smallpox and anthrax viruses, as well as diseases humanity has never encountered. Melting glaciers are slowly opening a Pandora's box that we can't close again. Discovery 9. Red sprites live at the boundary between the atmosphere and space. These are lightning bolts that strike upward, not downward. They look like giant red jellyfish or ghosts tens of kilometers across. Pilots have seen them for decades, but were afraid to tell anyone for fear of being considered crazy. It looks like an alien invasion or a glitch in the sky, a reminder that even our skies hide giant electrical entities from us. Discovery number 10. The deepest place on Earth, Challenger Deep. 11 kilometers down. The pressure there is so great it could crush a tank. Scientists thought it was the last pristine corner of the planet, but when the bathyscaphe sank to the very bottom, they didn't find an ancient monster. They found a plastic bag and a candy wrapper. The most terrifying discovery at the edge of the world is that there's no secret there. It's just our trash. We've contaminated every inch of this planet. Discovery 11. In the quietest corners of the planet, far from cities, people sometimes hear a hum. It's a low-frequency sound whose source is unknown. It's maddening, causing headaches and insomnia. Scientists have discovered that our planet constantly vibrates, even when there are no earthquakes. These are the free vibrations of the Earth. We live on the surface of a giant bell that never stops ringing, and some people hear this ringing all too clearly. Discovery number 12. In an attempt to find the edge of the Earth below, scientists drilled the Kola super-deep borehole 12 kilometers into the crust. They expected to find solid dead rock, but madness erupted at the bottom. The rocks there weren't solid, but rather plastic, like Play-Doh, and saturated with water that shouldn't have been there. The temperature soared to 180 degrees Celsius, melting the drill bits. But the audio recording became a legend. Microphones lowered into the shaft to record plate movements picked up sounds resembling human screams. We literally knocked on the roof of hell, and they stopped opening the door. Discovery 13. In the most remote reaches of the ocean, where only oil rig cameras can reach, a creature from nightmares was filmed, the Magnapinna Squid. It looks completely unnatural. Its tentacles reach 8 meters in length. They don't wriggle, but hang vertically downwards like the strings of a puppet. These tentacles have elbows. They bend at a right angle, which looks mechanical and alien. It simply hangs in the darkness, its trap set like an alien drone scanning the seafloor. It's a reminder that the ocean is home to things that have nothing in common with us. These discoveries frighten us not because they are dangerous, but because they reveal how little we know. At the very edge of the world, conventional logic breaks down. Blood flows from the ice, spiders grow to the size of dogs, and the past rises from the permafrost. The Earth is more than just our home. It is a vast, wild, and mysterious organism, and we have only begun to explore its darkest corners.